people of the internet, this is the Geek Gaming Culture Soapbox channel. Well, did Dr. Disrespect do something inappropriate and illegal? Or is the person who is accusing him now in the crosshairs of a potential lawsuit? In order to go throughout all of this, we gotta start from the very beginning and provide some context. In 2020, Dr. Disrespect, real name is Herschel Guy Bream IV, had been banned from Twitch. Now, we did not know anything about the ban, and Twitch was not willing to give any information either to anybody who wanted to know, or even to Dr. Disrespect himself. Didn't seem as though there was any information forthcoming, and this is a ongoing situation with some of these video outlets where if you're banned, they don't have to tell you a reason, and that needs to really change in this situation. I was a victim of it doing YouTube and trying to figure out why one of my channels was deleted, and they said it was spamming, and it turned out that it was something completely different, and finally was able to fight it because I got enough information to know what they were seeing, and I had to fight tooth and nail to get that much information out of them. So something fundamentally there needs to change. However, for 4 years, we did not have any bit of information at all. Fast forward to this past Friday. Cody Conners, who is a former CPM explainer on Twitch, according to his bio, posted on their X account, quote, he got banned because got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at Twitchcon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. Going on to say no one made the wrong decision. F him and his boys. Now keep in mind that in none of Cody Conners' tweets or anything of that sort does he ever mention Dr. Disrespect by name. And there are more tweets coming because that starts to get a little bit messy. Now, on the offset of this, everybody started to realize that this guy was talking about Dr. Disrespect. And of course, you get the knee-jerk reactions you usually do on X. Now, keep in mind as well that Dr. Disrespect, for some weird reason, is seen as problematic by some of the fringe groups. He's one of those people where they'll say, oh, he's problematic, he's this or that, and then when you try to ask them what about him is problematic, they really have no answer. And that usually means that they're being told what to think. They're being told what to believe. They don't have any actual reason on their own as to why they believe he's problematic. They're just being told this is how you're allowed to think, and you're not even allowed to go even one little iota out of lockstep with what we say. This got another streamer, Jake Lucky, to post the news on their X account saying a former Twitch employee has come forward and stated the alleged reason for Dr. Disrespect's permanent Twitch ban being for sexting a minor in the previous Twitch Whispers product. Dr. Disrespect then answered this by saying, Jake, seriously, I get it, it's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged and they paid out the whole contract. Now, at the time, we thought no wrongdoing was acknowledged was an account of his response to the allegations that Cody Conners had leveled against him. And this was going to provide a whole host of different questions about the allegations themselves. However, Dr. Disrespect later clarified this by saying, listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say since this is the effing internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Elden Ring Monday, meaning that he's still streaming on YouTube. And from that, we can probably suspect that he was referring in the first tweet to the lawsuit that he was involved in regarding Twitch and probably the ban itself. He had a contract exclusively with Twitch, and then they just permanently banned him for really no reason whatsoever. Do we even know if there was a reason at this point? We'll get to that here in just a second because this actually gets really messy for Cody, actually. However, keep in mind that there are NDAs, as Dr. Disrespect pointed out in his tweets, and that's particularly important because of the timing in which Cody decided to post this. As I've read elsewhere, and I hope I'm getting this right, that usually NDAs last up to 4 years. and it would be time for those NDAs to run out if that were the case. And this is where the messy part of this comes in, because some people have done some digging and found out that Cody Conners might have some ulterior motives from this, and now it might seem as though he might not have any real information and just making things up. The first of the ulterior motives is that back in 2023, he posted a few tweets trying to not only promote his band, but also specifying that if he had all 3 dates of the upcoming show, which we can show you that the tweet is in fact correct and it's real, that he would tell people why Dr. Disrespect was banned. In 3 separate tweets. First one posted on 7/13/2023 saying, "Listen, if all 3 dates sell out, I'll tell you why he got banned." This is the one that we can actively confirm is the truth. The second one is, "Gamer friends, if you're on the East Coast, you should come to one of these shows. At Slasher is coming to the NY date. That's a 500 person room and we're like 70% on pre-sale. I always act out around Rod. If that show sells out, I'll 100% explain why we banned him during the set." And the third one, read by me a little out of order here, but it still says, "If you like my very niche insights on esports and content creation, then you would love hearing me play guitar loud as F. Tour with tiny moving parts and WGD band starts tomorrow. Maybe I'll get so swept up in the spirit of the music that I'll blurt out why we banned him." And again, no mention of the person this guy, Cody Conners, is talking about. Now, this led Cody Conners to not only address these found tweets, but to also seemingly double down on the allegations, saying those 3 tweets warrant admonishment. Maybe more than 3. The stands trying to dig stuff up have been so underwhelming that I presume they missed something. I apologize for it all because it's worth apologize for. The subtext of the bit, again shameworthy, is that you're the last person to not know. The information had been so normalized, declawed in the circles that I ran in that could be reduced to allusion and entendre. For everyone who has since said that's effed, I agreed with you on Friday night before you wrote it. I should have agreed with you sooner. I cannot take back, but I can stop it. I never said I'm a perfect person. I just hope this class grades on a curve." Now, the next tweet is something that we should get to because it seems as though that this person changed it. The tweet now says, "That said, I'm the least sued I've ever been. Guys' lawyers work weekends. I don't think they had a few things they just needed to get to before they circle back to this. I'm also a little irked that Jake, who is very clearly trying to split the difference with what he thinks is have with a potential audience, but also I deserve to feel bad about the things he's flagged. I just do. But I also know Jake is racing to verify that screenshot from the world's leaders in multiplayer entertainment is legit. Enforcement ID 7278926, and things are dragging on. Knowing who I was racing, I would probably put out some content too." Jake, of course, referring to Jake Lucky, who had posted the evidence that something was amiss. However, it's a artist by the name of Madam Savvy on YouTube that has actually on her X account blew this whole thing wide open with a series of tweets highlighting the evidence and also confirming that at least one of the tweets was in fact correct and was real, and reminding us that the Slasher account was actually Rod Breslau, Breslau. I know I'm butchering the name. However, this was the person that said they knew the reason why Dr. Disrespect was banned. And if you recall from a few moments ago, that's the person that Cody Conners had referenced that would be at that show, in which he said if there was a sellout, he would reveal the reason for the Dr. Disrespect ban. The first of her tweets says, quote, "Thanks to a tweet by Bad Boy Bremen, I went and looked up this to see if it was real. This might be a bit of speculation, but there is a pattern in the language. This is suggesting he wanted to profit off of why Dr. Disrespect was banned. His allegation, which is about a crime, was going to be used as a way to make money. This is now case closed, gang, in my eyes. This is gross behavior, and unless hard evidence with undeniable proof comes out, nothing more of Cody can be taken seriously at all. You don't joke about crimes involving minors. You don't try to profit off it. You don't implicate yourself, Twitch, and others in covering up a literal crime for freaking money. You look like the bad guy for hiding it if you want your words to be believed, and this makes it so much worse for you, Cody. But then she makes another tweet saying this Cody guy in the Dr. Disrespect situation has gone full Riddler, playing with allegations, relying on the court of public opinion, and racing to verify things. The only thing that got verified was Cody's account this month, and he now qualifies for monetization. They pay out the backlog of 3 months for your engagement, not just starting on the day you qualify. Attached is a deleted tweet which he retyped but has different language. He continues to stand by his words, implicating other people had committed crimes by covering what he alleged. This is wild behavior. Don't think he's talked to a lawyer, and if he has, then that's a bad lawyer. He now confirms those tweets were indeed about Doc. Slasher deleted a reply to one of his old tweets. Slasher claimed to know the reason for the ban, but he joked about it too. None of this is okay. You don't play with these kinds of allegations. Cody also has changed his bio multiple times, having fun with all this. And here's the tweet that she says that Cody initially had. That said, I am the least used I've ever been. Guys, lawyers work weekends. I don't think they had a few things they just needed to get to before they circle back to this. I'm also a little irked at Jake, who is very clearly trying to split the difference with what he thinks is half of his potential audience is. Exasperating that is the fact that I know Jake has been trying to verify leaked screenshots from the TNS section of the world's leader in multiplayer entertainment since yesterday afternoon. He's racing a couple of other more talented people. Jake, all of this is really silly, but the version of the document I got has your team's watermark on it, so maybe you check in, which was then deleted and then changed to the one I read you earlier on. And then Savvy goes on to say, keeps changing his bio, there is nothing more important for anyone to get to. I believe he is saying no one is busy enough that they wouldn't make me a priority. This is not the behavior of a well-balanced brain. Now, that all leads to Dr. Disrespect saying this in his first stream back since these allegations were brought up.
For those that are looking for me to expand on this weekend, not gonna. I already said what I needed to say. I don't give a about this guy. That's it. So I do appreciate the donations. I do appreciate the messages, but I like to put it in fifth gear right off the rip.
Now, I didn't include the Destiny clip where he said that he knew something about why Dr. Disrespect was banned, that he heard a few things, but I don't think that he actually knew, that he heard a few things, that he doesn't know anything to corroborate what Cody's saying. Also, there's another Twitch employee, and I wish I could find the tweet that said that he was glad that the stuff was out there, but I don't think that he knew one way or the other of whether or not it was true or not. The only person that seemed to try to corroborate this was Nathan Grayson, and we all know we can't trust a single word that he says. So I'm dismissing anything that Nathan Grayson's trying to say about this. However, I'm going to start off by saying this. These are serious allegations. If Dr. Disrespect did anything illegal in that front, then by all means put him under the jail. Definitely do that. However, that being said, I was skeptical at the very beginning of this, and the reason why is because, first of all, Cody will not mention Dr. Disrespect by name in any of these tweets. If it is Dr. Disrespect, I agree with Savvy. Just say the name. Just say who it is. Just come out with some hard evidence to prove that you have a case here. Because, to be quite honest with you, this is the same thing that people got on Pro Jared about. And we believed the accusers at that point, as we probably should enough to where an investigation needs to take place. Take the allegations seriously, but do due process. But if you remember the Pro Jared situation, there was all these allegations that he was doing stuff with minors, and what happened was he was lied to by a person that was saying that they were of age, and he was let into this adult NSFW chat room, and then not only did the person lie about their age, but then they tried to also lie that Pro Jarrett knew that the person was underage, that they were 15, which is definitely below the age of consent in any state in the US. Some states have it at 16, some have it at 18, and I'm going to get heat for even bringing that stuff up, because I usually do. Most people usually do when they bring that aspect of it up. And that's why I'm going to refrain from bringing up if this was true, if Dr. Disect was trying to meet up with somebody at Twitchcon who was considered a minor in the state of California. As you know, Twitchcon is usually held in, I think, San Diego. Then there has to be a ton of questions as to the specifics of what was going on with that meetup and that relationship and what have you. However, seeing this now, we're seeing that not only is Cody not bringing the evidence, not bringing the hard evidence, or even the corroboration by somebody who is credible and not Nathan Grayson, but now is having all of this stuff being brought up, and now he's trying to explain away all of this, and now he's going back and forth and trying to change his bio and all of this, and we can confirm that's the case. Something seems fishy about what Cody is trying to do. Now remember, he is a former employee of Twitch, which basically means that people will suspect that his word holds some merit. However, it also means that he may have some prior motives as to why he wants to go after Dr. Disrespect. Remember, up until this point, we had absolutely no information of the reason behind his ban. Twitch would not say anything to him or to anybody else about the situation. He has since gone to YouTube and he has retained his popularity over there. So it's easy to suspect that Twitch probably has some remorse for what they did, some seller's remorse there, or banner's remorse if you want to put it that way. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they're going to try to sabotage Dr. Disrespect's career, but this is the most slimiest way to do it. If you think you made a mistake, just say you made a mistake. You're preying not only on the sensitivities of people who take these allegations extremely seriously, myself included, but you're also taking advantage of people who have already seen Dr. Disrespect as being quote-unquote problematic, which I have no way to determine what they believe is problematic about him. And again, some people will look for a reason to cancel him on that basis. They will believe anything they need to in order to remove him from their lives and to remove them from their timelines or from society or what have you, without even knowing what they're supposed to be mad at him for. They're just being told that's how you're supposed to think. That's what they're being told. Hey, you know this person? You're supposed to hate him. And they'll go with that, and they won't even think one way or the other otherwise. So yeah, you're preying on that as well. You're hoping that that's the case because you have a personal grudge against him. That's the only reason I can suspect that Cody is doing this. And what a way to do this if this is the case. That he waits until the NDAs, if that's the case, that NDAs only last for 4 years, to wait until the NDAs run out, and then he drops his bombshell, which is probably one of the worst crimes you can think of, that people will not wait for any evidence before they do knee-jerk reactions and then go on that knee-jerk reaction for years and years without any attempt to verify if they're correct, and then go after people who called them out on trying to exploit the situation when there might be a chance that he really doesn't know what Dr. Disrespect was banned for, that he might be making it completely up. He may be making every letter of it up. That's why you need to have hard evidence with these cases. And I'm not even going to get into the scenarios of if this were true, because right now I have my doubts. I really have my doubts about this. And unless this person brings up hard evidence, which is all this guy needs to do. This is all the person needs to do in order to have us believe him beyond a shadow of a doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt, which that's how our court system works in the US. But I'm not going to get into if it was true or not, then what would the situations be to where you could have reasonable doubt there too? Because right now, I don't believe Cody. I don't believe him because he keeps changing the tune. He keeps changing his bio. He keeps changing things and he keeps doubling down. And if you notice from me reading the tweets, doesn't seem to have a bit of an understanding of how the English language works. He seems to have a whole bunch of different grammatical and wording errors in his tweets. You would think he'd be more careful than that, given the nature of the allegations. Now, does that mean that Dr. Disrespect is completely innocent? Well, in this country, we do believe in innocent until proven guilty, and right now, Cody has not given us any real reason outside of maybe a few people that heard some things. And of course, we're not bringing in Nathan Grayson because we can't trust him at all. Outside of those, we don't have any corroboration. We don't have any hard evidence. So why should we believe what this person is saying? He might have a personal grudge against Dr. Disrespect and has waited for years to try to finally stick it to him, and is using our sensitivities as a way in order to do so. And it's really slimy when you consider how people react to accusations like this on Twitter or on X or whatever you want to call it, because people will not wait for due process to take hold before they deem somebody guilty. Look what they did with Pro Jarrett all those years ago. Look what they still believe Channel Awesome did because of that Not So Awesome document, even though that's been poked full of holes by now. And then you look at this case with somebody who some people are looking for a reason to cancel him because they can't stand him, because they're being told they are not allowed to like him. They are supposed to hate him. Why? They can't tell you, but they're looking for a reason to cancel him. They're looking for a reason to confirm their bias. And here comes Cody, not only giving them a reason to confirm their bias, but also accusing him of probably one of the worst crimes you can accuse somebody of, that you know people are going to knee-jerk over. And yeah, it's going to lead to a lawsuit unless you bring up hard evidence, Cody. Unless you bring up hard evidence somewhere. It has to exist somewhere, even 4 years after the fact that you probably seen it. Bring up some form of further details about this, because that's all you need to do. Bring up some hard details of what you've seen or who this might be, because this is also really slimy that you're not mentioning his name, because you say, oh, I never mentioned Dr. Disrespect. Well, who are you talking about then? Who else would you be talking about? You keep saying, oh, you're going to reveal it, you're going to reveal it, you're going to reveal it. And then after the fact, you say, oh, it was a joke. Come on, Cody, you're playing with fire here. You're going to get burned, and it seems as though you're willing to just pour gasoline over this fire. You're talking about a guy's livelihood. You're talking about a guy's career here. And to those people who are looking at this, please, for the love of everything, please let the facts come out before you make your judgment, because this is one of the hardest accusations to try to defend yourself against. Savvy is right. You don't play around with these kinds of allegations. We've seen people's lives being nearly ruined over accusations that were never proven to be true, but they were ruined anyway. You don't play around with these things. This is a serious allegation. You can't play around with these things. And if it turns out that Cody, as we suspect, is lying about this, then yes, he should be sued. He should be sued, and I would support Dr. Disrespect to suing the guy. Because yes, he's right. A lawsuit might be coming, and he may deserve it. But I do invite your comments. Please leave them down below. And also share or like this video and ring the bell. Subscribe. We're going to try to get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel to get it monetized, because this is a new channel trying to get it built up here. Until next time, this is the Geek Gaming Culture channel, and as always, to be continued.